Well, hello, folks. I took a break from work here because the messages are too many. And again, it's Canadians trying to interpret American law and American systems.
Good day, boys.
Okay.
Get that back.
So, folks, we can't break up Canada into provinces, at least not by Donald J. Trump. Again and again and again and again and again, over and over. Canada, the 51st state. He was hit with reporters. Though Alberta, BC, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, which I've been in all these groups. I'm the first one in more than 20 years to start independence. I was the last one to run a majority for Alberta independence. Not a few candidates, absolute majority. Major needle move. We didn't get support from the UNSC. Worked on it years after that, have never got penmanship. The only other way to do it is at the international level. Can President Donald J. Trump tell any premiers, any provinces, any territories of a foreign country that, hey, I'm going to help you, let's break you up out of your country? The answer is no. It will destroy everything of America and the world order post-World War II. Now, there's a rebellion, a breakaway state. It can apply if there's other measures. There's lots of international binding law authority path to do that. I haven't won it yet. But the President of the United States can, like you just watched with Ukraine. And Canadians always want to take the world as you want it to be, not how it absolutely is. And when you're dealing with the United States of America, what they say as a binding authority is what they say. When that invite, the first time ever since a long, long time, and in fact, people referring to Articles of Confederation, the old United States Constitution, been replaced, folks. You can't interpret on behalf of the United States. The United States says, these are our laws, this is how we do it, accept it, or no deal. That's Trump. I can't negotiate with any of you. I won't negotiate with any of you. He was asked by the reporter, I watched it. What did he answer with? Again and again and again. Do you think I would be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't the only path viable forward? Still a lot of hurdles, but it's the only viable path. We have the President of the United States in American law who has the right of veto or to pass an enabling act done by Congress. And we've got that invite. Only Canada, the 51st state. Do not balkanize it. There is tons and tons and tons of American literature on balkanization of Canada and other states. Not going to happen. Not their lane, not going to do it. Again, you watch Donald J. Trump negotiate with a federal government called Vladimir Zelensky for resources of the whole country. Did he go to the independent oblasts? What about the Russian ones that are occupied right now? No. And if you think Donald J. Trump is going to militarize the American military to take a few provinces from Canada after Russia and Ukraine and everything else, you're way out in left field. It's not going to happen. It doesn't give the United States government anything they desire, which is the Arctic boundary matching Russia tit for tat. How do they get the territories? Right? Do you think they care about provinces when every state of the union has 100% authority over their resources? Newsflash, sorry folks, this isn't Canada and its baloney. This is America as it really is, that you need to respect, because they present it how it is and you will capitulate to it because they're the most powerful country in the world. And if you don't, it's on you, not them. They don't give. They don't care. You've been given a tremendous gift and an offer. Canada, the 51st state. Again, repeated, Canada, the cherished 51st state. He doesn't want you chopped up. I can tell you right now, the Trump admin looking at this can save $7 trillion just by bringing in Canada with all its health regions. That's what's sexy. That's what's sought after by the federal government of the United States right now. In their tremendous health bankruptcies, their tremendous health costs that aren't a privy, shouldn't even be their lane of power. They can't get the majority Senate and Congress, let alone the 50 states to agree, who don't want to change. They want the federal government to keep going in a pure socialist system, draining their monies. And Donald J. Trump's telling you all, he's telling you all, come as the 51st state, my only and final offer, or sanctions, tariffs, and trade embargoes. Now, Albertans, you can revolt. I gave the legal path to independence, how to get there, but you're still going to face not only UK and France, that was always a guaranteed veto. I hoped for penmanship. I've taught this for years. I could write the book on it. Many American academics, world academics, follow me. It's not because I'm a welder and they like how I weld. It's because I understand the legal system, and I've pursued that. I even presented it in real political science right here in Canada as an alternative for the province of Alberta. Since then, I've shown you how to fix Canada, all the provinces, start the path to real constitutions. All of your premiers from every province and territory told me this. That's what they told me. Get lost. We're not giving any power to the people. We don't want any we the people or any of what's called Part 5, Section 58 in the Constitutional Acts of Canada ever constituted for any of you lowly, degenerate, no good subjects who are their slaves. They're slaves. Always been that way since the Titanic. You're the Boilermakers at the bottom of the ship in the boiler room, and when you hit an iceberg, they close the hatches behind you. You're gone, not the captain. You are. Bye. Bye, lowly subject. You work for a living. You're the politician's slave. It's written, articulated well in all of the acts of the Constitutional Acts of Canada, which are very large amounts. Many. Everybody only reads a few amendments. Wow. 22 previous amendments, 11 after 1982. And then there's all the other codified pieces of the Constitution found within France and UK. Easily found, cementing all those things seemingly not codified. AI is not caught on yet today. I did some time with Grok, Twitter's AI, and I'm going to publish that. I taught it a genius level of understanding, and it thanked me and said, wow, I didn't know that. I have all the screenshots, but Grok, now it's going to go forward with that. That's one AI. I mean, lots of AI learns, but it's really at an average level. It learns. There's still many things that at the high academia, if it's not published, because you have to go to school and buy that as a doctorate. I'm very blessed. I get to be with all these doctorates. Sometimes they give me hints or they allow me few things, but really, if you haven't registered for a doctorate program, meaning you graduated a program, became a master's, went for your thesis for a doctorate, you're never going to read this stuff. It's kept in-house. You have to pay for it. I'm very lucky. Some academics have given me access to things. Others have taught me. Others have given me one-on-ones as number one in their field worldwide. Do you know how many billions of people are in the world? And I get 5 minutes or 10 minutes with somebody who's ranked number one and there's no dispute. I just taught that trick to Grok AI. And they said, wow, no, I didn't know this. You're right. I never thought of it like that. I wasn't programmed to think like that. Well, of course, because it's not found in any writing. And you're definitely not going to even get programmers to teach you that. Because does a programmer go to law school, get a doctorate of law, and then master something on the world stage, right? A paper and education that's only available to other doctorates, right? So, folks, Donald J. Trump, is not going to balkanize Canada, just like he wouldn't balkanize Ukraine, which you could easily do right now. He made a deal with Zelensky, federal to federal, got his $500 billion deal, and then he announces he thinks he's going to get a big one with Russia. Canada, you're in big trouble. That's provinces too. Do you think the United States wants to entertain unity or a merger under USD? No, not with your big fat butt government, federally and provincially, especially provincially. Don't want it. They want you as districts. They want you small government, meaning even Canadians, your furthest reaches, Maxine Bernier, alt-right, is a bloated socialist government way over that of the Democrats, can't even compute. Do you know how many Congress people have to represent so many Americans? It's in the many hundreds of thousands. I believe it's that 438, and then you have the 100 senators, but the 438 divided by their 3 million, it's 750,000 Americans. Do you know there's MPs in Canada with 12,000 Canadians? And they're getting millions of dollars. Like, you can't afford that bloated government. They never even show up to work half the time. They're on holidays in other countries. They're enjoying property elsewhere. They don't even have to show up. They have hardly anything to do. They mostly juggle. It's all a show, a pretend democracy. It's even worse at the provincial level. The legislatures get bigger, more people, more breakdowns of the MLA constituencies, and they're smaller, much smaller than the federal. And then there's multitude of provinces times 10, and then 3 territories as well too. The federal government of the United States and all the 50 states look at Canada. Wow, that is big, extreme government, no good. Nobody wants that. They don't want any provinces and their big, fat-ass governments sucking the life juice out of America. They want Canada the 51st state. They want to impose a federal system where you're going to have representatives actually have to work for many, many Canadians and work very hard all the time, full-time, like a real job. Not a free-for-all, fill your pockets like Canada. USA will never accept you, never accept that, or want to entertain giving you extra senators, paying more senators, reducing existing states. Like, can you imagine the state of Texas, who has a special agreement with the United States? They will vote no against Alberta. Did you know that? They'll vote no against Saskatchewan. I bet you didn't know that. I know all of those people already done all the work. It's why I didn't bother with Congress. I've even spoken over the years to the congressional speakers of the House. 2, in fact, in the last 9 years. Not interested. Now Donald J. Trump, maybe they are interested. But I also know all those states, every separatist state, every state with its own special deal. California, Texas, Illinois. I know them all the groups, every single one, all the separatists. And there's no way they're ever going to grant any of you any independence. And in fact, at some of these state levels, you lose the state of Texas and you lose that congressional vote, you're going to be a protectorate shit territory 60, 70 years. If you don't believe it, I know all the Americans know exactly what I'm talking about. Benjamin Ebley even knows what I'm talking about. They can block you, and it's been done upwards of 60, 70, 80 years. You want to be a territory for 80 years? No say, no vote, no nothing in elections, worse off than you are now. Exploited, socialist, shit. That's what you'll be. I give a path that's fair for everybody, can be done. Will we win in this immediate cycle? Probably not, but we're going to teach Canadians a pile. Plant the seed, put it in their minds. I'm going to try for all of it, going to get everybody going, but I'm not going to entertain any paths that won't work because I've already tried all that. Already been there, did that, done it. You're many, many years behind me, everybody. And I get it. People want, but me, my scenario, my problems, my needs, me, my resources. Again, USA don't give a shit. All their states keep the resources. So what are you selling to them? If it's not resources to the federal government, what security do you bring? Where's your constitution? Where's your military? Don't got. they got no time for you. They're not going to alienate themselves on the world stage or watch Canada balkanize and all of a sudden all these split off communists. This is what will happen. And if you don't know this, you got to get reading, because the United States is a design machine. It has a simple, articulate history, and it stays on its lanes. Very predictable, America. Believe it or not, very predictable. Very predictable. And if you read their history, you read their laws, you learn them, you read their system, and you know their system like the back of your hand, guess what? You're like me. You know how to do this. You know how to get there, and you know what will work and what won't work. So, folks, I won't be publishing any more things that aren't real, as Donald Trump answered. Canada, 51st state, the cherished state. Not provinces or territories. Won't even acknowledge you. Won't even acknowledge people bringing it up over and over again. That should tell you something. Canada, the 51st state. If we can